Good day, brave hearts. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and this is DocStar TV. I'm with a beautiful lady. Her name is Joyce. We're going to talk about her husband, Reg. We did a five weeks ago, we did a Perfect Day Consult live. You can go back and watch it. Real people, real healing guide in my library. Let me tell you something. I have beautiful people that put themselves on the line for you to tell their story so that you can share the celebrations, the good news that we were sold, a fraudulent program. And I'm not going to point fingers. I'm telling you, we were sold a fraudulent program. And we're going to be talking to Joyce today about Reg. Reg won't be on. Joyce is the one that will be on. She's the one that's more, she doesn't mind coming on. She doesn't mind talking. And I think that's the way it should be. Now, before I bring on Joyce, I want to talk about a few things here. And I will talk about them in my one a day later today too. Things are changing really fast. For those people who don't see the changes, they are going to get gobsmacked. They are going to be so gobsmacked in 6 months. 3 to 6 months, we are looking at people just going, what just went on? And that's because people are asleep. I'm not even telling you 1 out of 100 people are awake. They're not. 1 out of 1,000 are awake. Okay? And 1 out of 10,000 are awoke. And the reality is that people have been programmed to not face the truth. They would rather be lied to. And then when the lie comes out and when things come down, they're all in shock and going, oh, I never knew. If we just connected to our breath, had a slight smile on our face, and knew that this was planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, but it is a prison for 999 people out of 1,000. And it is. And they don't even know they're prisoners. I'm going to tell you something. I have to change my whole business. So I live in the United States approximately now. I'm only going to be living there 4 months of the year. And I've chose to be in Mexico 8 months of the year where I can get all organic food because there is no GMOs, where there is no chemtrails, where there is no glyphosate, okay? And where food, I can go to the market like I did this morning, and where food costs me about 20 to 25% of what it would in the United States. Also, I just got another 3 quarts of organic beet and carrot juice, which this is full of, and I'll drink 2 of these today. That's 1.5 quarts. And I just bought 3 quarts for myself for 210 pesos. That would break anybody's bank if they had to do that. So the reality is I take a look and say, where's the best environment? Right out here, I've got the bay. I go swimming in the ocean. But I want to get right down to brass tacks with you and be really frank. We're doing a world tour. My first course is in Ixtapa here at the Cala del Mar. We have less people at this course than we have had, are you ready for this? In 30 years. We have 6 people in my course. I usually have 20 to 24. Dr. Sage Wolf has, I think, 7 in the Wolf Non-Surgical. He usually has 24 to 30. Okay? And the reality is things are changing. I mean, think about it. We're going to go from 3% to 8 to 10% on mortgages. People are freaking out. Okay? The price of food's gone up. Everything's going up. And listen, it's going to keep going up. Now, what they're doing is they're causing everybody to freak out. So right now, I'm having my whole company change. We're still going to do our courses. We're not going to do as many in the next few years until this is all over. You need to understand something. Things are not falling apart. Things are going to come together. Things are going to feel like they're falling apart for the 999 people out of 1,000 because they've got their head in the sand like some ostrich. And the reality is they're not ready to give it and pivot and give it. They're not ready to change, and people change way too slow. Most people that come to me for help have stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. inflammation, which is cancer. And then guess what? And guess who comes to me? Are you ready for this? The people that come to me are the people that have already done the chemo, the radiation, and the drugs, or they've pretended they didn't have it, and then they get really scared, or they believe they weren't worth spending any money on, or the family didn't want to help them or spend money on them. I mean, things are just like, that's the way it is. If you don't believe me, I ran what was called the World Healing and Training Center here in Ixtapa for almost 2 years. And in that 3-year time, we'd have people coming to us, and they were coming to us on their last leg. So you know what? People will come to us, and the only thing that we use is the best nutraceuticals, high vibrational nutraceuticals, the best quality products in the world I use. But understand, has anybody ever listened to the way I speak? Do you think maybe I piss corporations off, or the government or the medical system believes that, you know, I'm something that should be taken care of and gotten rid of? A year to a year and a half ago, there was a show done on me that, you know, 3 people came to me and they passed away because of me. Yeah, they passed away because I use the best nutraceuticals, the best energy medicine. We give them more support than any other practitioner. And this show was supposed to destroy me. Now, believe it or not, this is the 3rd time that this TV station, that actually 67% of their money comes from taxpayers. So I think you can read the story. And the reality is, if somebody were to actually cause the actual passing of a person, why are they running around? Why is their business doubled in a year? I'm going to tell you why. Because we give more support to our family, which is everywhere in the world. I'm giving out my Perfect Day Guide. Give me 1 second. This is the first time I'm doing it ever. 535 page manual. Anybody can have it. It is the most powerful health book that you'll ever read in your life. And it's free. If you go to pdgfree.com, pdgfree.com, and you'll have it 1 minute to New Year's Eve, midnight. And it will be in your inbox. And if you want to call in your email and do that, you can call it in, or you can go to pdgfree.com. Now, before I even decided to give this out, I also have the largest self-care, self-love library in the world. It has more free masterclasses than any other platform known. Go there and find out. The reality is I believe in total abundance for all humans. I believe that we can be that way, but everything is a thought. And understand something. It doesn't matter if you are poor or you're sick. You've got poor thoughts and you've got sick thoughts. That's it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm going to tell you something right now. There is universal intelligence, and when I do my 1-a-day later today, I am going to do a 1-a-day on universal intelligence, telling you that every thought you have, every action, every reaction, everything you say, who you're with, what you do, and your habits, all are a frequency that go out to this universal intelligence, which I call Source Creator. And guess what? It just bounces right back. Your life is just a mirror, no matter if you're sick, healthy, poor, rich, skinny, fat. It doesn't matter. And you need to understand that. Okay, I have an article in here just even talking about parasites. And guess what? Everything I write, you've never heard about a talk like this before, because it's all vibration, it's all light, it's all frequency. And that's it. It is nothing else. If you do a perfect day lifestyle on an emotional and physical level, you'll never have parasites and you'll never be sick. And you know what? I don't care what people think. They can say he doesn't know what he's talking about. But guess what? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just told you I gave you the biggest library free. It's on docofdetox.com. It's got more masterclasses in there. Why don't you come on and challenge me? You know, come on and challenge me if I'm wrong. And the biggest problem here in life is, for the majority of the population, if my beliefs don't match theirs, they instantly hate or dislike, or they put their hand up. You know what? If you're not willing to change your thoughts, you'll never change your personality. If you don't do that, you'll never change your reality. So guess what? Use all the willpower you want, rally the whole family, get all the greatest doctors and minds together, and you'll still be a landmine, because it's your belief systems that are in your subconscious that rule, school, and fool you, and they're not even yours. I can prove beyond a doubt that 70 to 90% of all your belief systems are built on toxic belief systems that are killing you. And thank God we were created by God Almighty. And thank God we have a spirit, because it's hard to crush it. Or you can destroy the human body. Yeah, just get depressed long enough and you won't even have to eat bad, and you'll call in the parasites. And that's the truth. In my article, it's a parasite party in The Perfect Day, I'll explain to you that natural parasite cleanses don't work. You'll be doing them forever. And if you want to take drugs that are poisonous to kill the parasites, you're killing you. So that's just one example. I'm just trying to tell you that we are vibrational beings. Now I'm going to tell you something else, and I'm going to be talking about this because it's important. I'm changing my whole business over. We're going to do less. My grandson is 8. He has ringworm. Well, guess what? He's got more than that. Guess what he's got? The continuous creams. Yeah, I know, but you can't put creams on to get rid of ringworm. The ringworm's coming from his bowels. Ask him. Your 8-year-old grandson has a bad bowel problem. He's rotting already. He has a manure pile. When have you ever seen a manure pile that won't create worms? And guess what? Do you know why he has ringworm? Because something's under his skin. Something bothers him about mommy and daddy. Something bothers him about the family. What got under your skin? Well, not just eczema or psoriasis or hives for him. It's a worm. Something is deeply infected, infested his brain. And not everybody is going to have ringworm that eats like he eats, but it's how he eats and thinks. But thinks is more important than eating. Oh, come on. I just want someone to come on my show. I don't care. Naturopathic doctor, medical doctor, challenge me. You want to challenge me? You go right ahead. Everything is frequency. Everything is vibration. And guess what? There's hardly any parents on this planet that aren't adulterated. You know, there's hardly any parents on this planet that treat their beautiful young children as spirit beings that are here to teach them. Okay, let me just talk about this. So the reality is, I'm going all over the world, and I will continue to go until they decide the planes can't be in the air, which I believe is coming. But what we're doing is we're going to be focusing more on our personal treatment and trainings, where people come to Zihuatanejo or Ixtapa, Mexico, and where a couple will come or a family will come, and we're going to initiate training them, where they will come for anywhere from 7 days to 2 weeks, depending on, or 3 weeks, depending on the condition. But we're going to teach every couple, every person, every family that comes to us, everything that we know. We're going to be utilizing the cardio med bed, the Cellsonic on them, other energy medicine equipment, but it's going to be kept down to personal. No more clinics. No more clinics for me. I've got clinics that we've taught and we've opened all over the world, but not for me. I'm going to be teaching small groups at a time. And I'm going to tell you something. We'll still go out and we'll do our courses, but right now the world's devastated. Okay? I mean, I'm not going to hide it. You know, I've got I might have 6 people in this whole life coach course. That's what? That's 25% of what I usually have in my course. Am I upset about it? No. It's Daryl. Wake the hell up. Wake up. And understand things are changing. Now, Daryl, you need to get the app done, which will be done in April. And we're going to be doing master classes live all around the world to people in their homes. And we're going to be bringing more free things out, more free things. And the things that we charge for, well, just know this. Anybody will be able to afford them. And the reality is this: we'll still keep doing our whole life coach courses. We'll still do our Wolf non-surgical courses. We'll do our pelvic courses. We'll do our Braveheart circles in person. But you're not going to get a lot of that because everybody is going to be just losing their stuff. They're going to be losing their minds. happens, baby. And I know it's coming, and I know that I need to stay really calm, and I need to say, how can I be effective around the planet? Well, guess what? Braveheart Nation app. Right now, I'm hitting the road to pay the last part. I still owe $60,000. It's a $180,000 app. There's been nothing created like this in the world. It's called Braveheart Nation. And I created this app to try to bring us all together as a family. And you can laugh if you want, but understand something. Dream big, dream often, and hold it. Hold the thought. If you're not actually dreaming big, living your passion, your purpose, and minding your own business and minding your own thoughts, you will rot out. You will rot out. And that's what's happening. That's what disease is. So I want people to go to Personal Treatment and Training and take a look at that. Dr. Sage Wolf will come anywhere in the world, to your clinic, to your home. He'll teach you the non-surgical, how to do the most powerful body work. I'm telling you that we can teach you that you don't have to go to surgery, that your family doesn't have to go to surgery. That is all a bunch of BS. I want any surgeon on here to come on here and tell me that I'm lying, okay? I want you on my show. I'm challenging you to tell me that I'm lying when I say that 95 to 98% of all surgery does not have to be done, that the human body is amazing, that we can get rid of everything from a pimple to a tumor. And understand that. And that's only when you train people and not treat them and continually, because you're mistreating them. Because everybody must become their own practitioner, which Joyce is going to tell me that, guess what? Reggie's only doing as good as he is right now, not because of Dr. Wolf. Dr. Wolf's not doing anything except giving strategies and selling them products. And they're not products. They're the highest vibrational nutraceuticals I can find on the planet. And I'm also there to support them. When they call me, I am there. And understand, you need to find somebody that's going to be there for you. Somebody's going to understand you. Somebody you don't have to look up to. Somebody you look at. Somebody that you can actually talk to. That's a human being. When I'm on here, yes, I go, rah, 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 rah. But understand something. When it's just me and you, it's a whole different ball game. I lock into your mood. I lock into your emotional being. And then I figure out what it is that I can do to help you. Not what I think you need. What helps with 3 large ovarian cysts? We can talk about that later. I just wanted to open up and tell everybody we are opening up our personal treatment and trainings here in Mexico, but they're only a couple will come down. We'll teach them how to learn how to love themselves, each other, learn how to do the non-surgical, learn how to actually become their own practitioners for themselves and each other. We are already booking up right now where we have parents coming down to learn, and they're bringing their kids with them, okay? And while they're there, we get them a sitter, a beautiful sitter to look after their kids right at the pool. And the reality is this: if you want to take a week, 7 days to 10 days, we're going to teach you how to go back and learn how to master your emotions, master your physical being, know what to do when it happens. And if you can't afford that, you can afford getting a free gift from me called the Perfect Day Guide, which is 535 pages. And it's beyond beautiful. I put so much time and money into this. And if you don't believe me, wait till you get it. You're going to go, my God, he gave that to us for free. Yeah, pdgfree.com. We have no time to be hoarders, okay, to have poverty thoughts. We don't have time for that anymore. And the reality is this: once you look at it, if you want to buy the book, I have a $6 profit on it. Nice margin, eh? It's not a lot. So if they go up with the printing, I'm done. But we will send it to you, $75 anywhere in North America to your door. That includes shipping. And once you look at it, if you want it, get it. If you don't want it, at least you've got the PDF. And understand, all the answers are in there on an emotional and physical level. So you can either move on it or don't. It doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because I can't change your beliefs. If you're not worth much, you're not going to do much for yourself. If you're worth everything, which you should be, that would mean unconditional love and care for yourself. Good luck with that. When we have generations of saying we're not worth it, you're not worth it. Nobody's going to love you. Who would love you? You're not pretty. You're not smart. You don't have any value. You know, we live in a judgment world where even our parents kick the living shit out of us emotionally and physically, and they don't even know it because it's passed on, and it's called the family curse. I say we end that. Are you willing to end it? Are you willing to have unconditional love for yourself? Because if you're not, then you're not going to have it for anybody else. Joyce, thank you for being patient with me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Did you call me sir?
Okay, get over it. That's a joke.
Good girl. I love you. Okay, so why don't you bring us up to speed? 5 weeks ago, we did a consult, a perfect day consult for you and your husband who was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, correct? Correct me? Okay. All right. Why don't you bring us up to speed where we were back then, okay?
Okay, so my husband was having, Reggie was having problems breathing. Basically, I don't think he even realized it was a problem, but just listening to him breathe at night. And then his breath was beginning to be short as he did his daily activities. So I noticed, the pattern, and, in the middle of the night, he was like losing gasping for breath, not consciously to himself. So about 5 o'clock one morning, I woke him up. I said, listen, you don't want to do all the homeopathic things, the things that I know that can heal you. You want to rebel, you want to rebuttal. Let's take you to the hospital, to someone that you'll listen to. So I got him up 5 that morning. We went to emergency room in southern Georgia because we split between Florida and Georgia where we live. And after 2 hours of waiting in the waiting room, we finally got in the back and they did some x-rays. I told them to do blood panel workup, whatever needed to be done because I needed answers. He needed answers. So after like about 3 or 4 hours of all of their activity, they came into the room, one doctor did, and said,
yes,
he put up an x-ray and he stated that he had stage 4 lung cancer. So Reggie and I looking, I'm like, really? And I asked him, where did you get that from? How did you come up to that? From this? He goes, yes. I said, well, so Reggie asked, well, is it surgery possible? And he said, no, there's no surgery can happen because of the way it looked. I'm like, really? So I said, that's quite a blow. I said, explain that to me. So he went on around I think this man jibber-jabbered worse than I do when I'm confounded. And so Reggie, the next thing we know, he said he was sending in some more doctors. 2 more other doctors came in, told Reggie. So one said, well, we're going to admit you. We need to get a piece of your lung to do a biopsy to see if it's cancer. So that really struck my attention. So you have 3 doctors coming in, one saying you're a done deal, the other saying, oh, well, not really. And then you have a third one that is the chief executive doctor stating, well, I don't know if it's really cancer or not. We need to get a biopsy. So he explained what a biopsy is. So I said, well, to my understanding, with cancer, as you call it, if air gets to the where it is, it spreads and it's totally out of control. That's what I've heard.
That's not true, but go ahead, love.
Right, but this is what I heard, what my understanding from other people that I've known suffer with this type of inflammation. So anyway, he goes, well, he's a very sick man. And I'm like, okay, so what do we do? What do you recommend he does? And he said, well, I need him to check in the hospital. He went on, and I said, well, what can he get done today in the hospital or tomorrow that he can't do as an outpatient and go home and let us do what we do? So he said, if you take him from the hospital, no one's going to pay your bill. And I was like, what the hell is this bill? And my husband, we had no insurance because I don't really fancy the medical system. Not that I have anything against it because it works beautifully for what's needed. Bottom line,
yeah,
I reached out to So my Reggie said, no, I'm not going to let anyone do cut on me or nip me, or I'm not going to go lay up in a hospital bed. That's not happening. Give me the information of what we can do for follow-up, whatever. Nobody, they sent a RN in, nobody, doctor came back but the RN. I requested to see the doctor. He refused to speak with me. He went to the foot of Reggie's bed, their bed that Reggie was in, and say, I want to do what you want. So I sort of, Reggie is very mild-mannered, as you can tell from my character, not so much me, because I believe logic comes with questions, and if you don't know, you ask. So they didn't find me too pleasurable in their world.
I know, but you do know, Joyce, that you cannot blame the doctor because they work for a system and there's a chokehold on them, and they are told exactly how to say it and how to deal with you.
I got it, Dr. Wolf, but at the same time, I am simply a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a wife, and lots of people friend. If I can stand firmly and be on a status to say, well, this isn't right, that's not right, I figure, this is a human source also.
Yes.
So why use me to roll over on when you know you're standing there lying and you're with a system that's not right? You want to call the holistic world alternative medicines, but when I speak about holistic and alternative, you say, well, we don't do that. So I find that unacceptable in my world. So here we go. My husband, we left. I got him on, got situated. We discussed, we talked. I reached out to yourself and a few other of my homeopathic friends and associates, and here we are today. I have done your recommendations, and it's working. I can't even hear Reggie breathing. No rattling. Before he was not bringing up the mucus on his own. You can hear a lot of rattling and like mucus, like want to come up, but wouldn't. So we began to nebulize with the iodine and the bright eyes, and he's on a whole plant food diet.
So
Okay.
if you don't mind, so what we have Reggie doing is I told him to nebulize what is called Bright Eyes Fulvic. It's the only fulvic you can put in your eyes in the world. It's totally clear. It's nano. We use no chemicals to process our human fulvic. We're the only company in the world that uses no chemicals. So Reggie uses the Bright Eyes that you can put in to reverse eye problems, okay? But he uses it and he puts it in Reggie puts it in a nebulizer, and I told him to put in the Bright Eyes and nebulize, and he can mix it with 50% Silver Bullet liquid too if he likes. So today what he will do is he would, let's say, use the Bright Eyes and Silver Bullet liquid, half and half, 50-50, put them in your nebulizer, and everyone, you can buy a portable nebulizer online on Amazon, but also I also said get a home nebulizer you plug in that's more heavy duty. Now, so today he will do the 50-50 split with the Silver Bullet liquid and the Bright Eyes. And then tomorrow he's going to use, when I said at the start, 1 part infinite iodine. We have the only non-toxic iodine in the world. I'm serious. We actually will give breast cancer patients 2 ounces of this iodine a day. If you did that with any other iodine, you'd blow their thyroid out. Now, so we use what's called infinite iodine, 1 part iodine, 3 parts distilled water. If you have a structure unit, then structure that water, okay? Now, but I said I want him to work his way up, that he doesn't use any distilled water. It's straight infinite iodine. And I want him to nebulize as if he's addicted to it. Like, people who vape, once they get vaping, they get addicted to the chemicals and they can't stop vaping. They vape all day. I want Reggie vaping like crazy. It's not vaping, it's nebulizing, but we'll call it that. And I want him to nebulize because at the beginning, I guarantee you, when he nebulized, He took a breath. I guarantee he was choking and coughing. And then after a few days, he would be there, or a couple of weeks, he'll be nebulizing and it won't be getting him anymore because infinite iodine neutralizes and takes apart a virus in 15 seconds. It will actually create an environment that bad bacteria can't grow and good bacteria can, which we want, and it will neutralize fungus. And the reality with the nebulizer, if we can get rid of the infectious material in the lungs, and then I also told Reggie to make sure he's drinking lots of structured water with black diamond in it, which is a humic fulvic, and also Ormus minerals, and lots of it, and do at least 3 quarts a day, and make it warm to hot because that warms up the mucus so we can spit up all of this. We want as much to come up. And even I said, look, if you see a little bit of blood, don't let it scare you. Because understand, if you knew Chinese medicine, to have a little bit of blood come up from the lungs, or blood come from the bowels, or blood come from or from the vagina, or any orifice when you're cleaning, it can happen. If you have a ton of it or you're worried, just go to your doctor. Don't don't be staying home. Do whatever you want to do. But the reality is, remember something. Don't drink cold water. Drink warm to hot water, because we need to melt the mucus out, okay? Because you know well as I do that hot water cleans better than cold water, whether you're washing clothes or the house. What do you think, Joyce?
I agree. The thing what's going on now with Reggie is the like he's hawking up like clogs of like clear mucus that, and also sort of like light yellowish. And sometimes it's clear, then he may do it again after nebulizing.
This has been 5 weeks, right, Joyce? 5 weeks?
Yes. It'll be a month on the 24th. It'll
Okay.
be 2 months on 25th, after the 24th of December. But anyways, and he is getting blood. The blood is getting to be a little bit more prevalent. You know, not like he's spitting up blood, but it always comes like mucousy and then a little trick of light faded red blood. And then when he nebulizes again, later on, it'll come up like mucus with quite a bit of hawk of blood that is dark red. The only concern, basically, the breathing, to listen, to hear him now is amazing. You know, I've implemented a protein shake for him to add in with his diet. He's lost like quite a bit of muscle mass. He's lost 30 pounds during this dilemma, and now we are trying to get his weight up, get his, I don't know, the next stage of, because he's having a problem. He'll have 3 days hype, and then he's tired. And that is sort of like affecting his psyche, so I don't know what to do on that.
You know what? You need to take a look at getting him on IGF 300,000 and get him on the SON formula. Because, see, whether anybody knows this or not, SON formula is an amino acid product. It is the highest absorption of amino acids in the human body on the planet. How about 99%? And it has no toxic value. And what they do throughout Europe, they don't do it in North America, but they will have patients that have cancer or otherwise stage 4 inflammation take, 24 a day. 24 SON. Now that seems like a lot, but these patients they do not lose muscle mass. Okay? So while...
Excuse me. What is the SON formula? It's a capsule, or is it?
It's a caplet. You'll see it on the website. It's a caplet. It's totally non-toxic. And what people don't understand is, what you would get if you had really great digestion, okay? If you had really great digestion from like a 12-ounce steak, 3 of these SON formula will give you the same, but it's a complete delivery. So what happens when you have stage 3 for inflammation, your body will utilize the muscle to create energy. But when you bring in when you bring in the SON formula, the amino acids, it utilizes that, and it helps to create toned muscle so that you don't lose your muscle. So Reggie will have to do some form of exercise. But we've also talked about things like Merigen. We talked about the Thunder Shrooms. If a person is on SON formula, Critical Care Thunder Shrooms, and Merigen, they're not going to have this. They would never have the muscle. They would never lose their muscle. And they don't. And the reason why is because the Merigen creates all the ionic calciums that creates 110,000 hormonal and chemical processes per second. The Critical Care Thunder Shrooms, they will turn around a person's immune system within a few days to a couple of weeks. You see it. And we see it all the time with stage 3 and 4. And then with the IGF 300,000, remember when you were younger, your human growth hormone made IGF-1. And we have the same, it's exactly the same as the liver used to make. So we restore all the IGF-1 so the patient has lots of energy to get out of bed, to do their exercises, to live a more normal life. And then the amino acids, so the IGF-1 keeps the energy level up. The Thunder Shrooms flip switch the immune system, and that's 40 years of research. There's nothing like them, these Thunder Shrooms. Nothing will build it faster. The amino acid, SON formula, keeps the muscle. And then by putting the black diamond and the Ormus minerals in the drinking water and doing it and drinking lots of hot water, what's going to happen is that the black diamond goes in and it crosses the blood-brain barrier into the brain, goes into the blood, and it will actually suck up 300% of its weight in heavy metals, chemicals, viruses, blood parasites, brain parasites. And then if he's also doing a level tablespoon of black diamond in a blender drink twice a day, he's going to go in there and he's going to get rid of the parasites and do the same thing. Drop off 70 micronutrients into his intestines, into his brain, into his blood. But it's going to suck up everything from heavy metals. Humic fulvic, is the best heavy metal cleanse, parasite cleanse, chemical cleanse. It will load itself up 300, 400% of its weight and drop off the nutrients where it is at. And that is what's missing from our soil, so it's missing from our food, so it's missing from our diet. And then the Ormus minerals that are put into the water, he needs at least 80 drops of that a day. That gives, our Ormus minerals, people can go look at the research, has the highest electrical charge of any electrolyte drink in the world because the minerals actually come from the runoff in Antarctica. So the runoff from there, we make 1 liter from 100 liters of this concentration of these electrolyte minerals. So you got your electrolytes, you got your amino acids, you got your energy from the IGF-1, you got your flip switch from the Critical Care Thunder Shrooms, and then you've got the Merigen that restores your calcium ions, which are the main communicator. And remember something, the things that really cause a problem is we don't have enough calcium ions in the body, but actually cancer is only caused from one thing, and that's lack of oxygen. And to have a lack of oxygen, you need more circulation, Joyce. And that's why I hope he's clapping for at least 10 minutes aggressively on these lungs. People are told that increased circulation increases cancer. The increased circulation that actually comes to the cancer cells is from, are you ready for this? Lactic acid and sugar, processed sugar. When you increase your body's natural circulation, you're defeating the cancer. When you actually feed the cancer, acidity and sugar, you'll blow it out of the water and it'll become a monster. So we want to clap this area for 10 minutes. Then what we want to do, is then we can put a castor oil pack there. Want to put a castor oil pack there for about an hour to 2 hours every day, and you could do it twice a day, morning and night if he's sleeping. And guess what? You take flannel, cotton or wool, you soak it down with organic castor oil, you make it 3 layers thick, soak the flannel, put that on the chest, then saran wrap, and then a heating pad. We need a heating pad. A hot water bottle won't do it. Then you're just going to do that, and that castor oil bean oil will help to draw the toxins to the surface. You may see a rash, may see pimples. Don't worry about it. Okay? Our job is to relieve the lungs of much toxicity, bring up the circulation so that we can restore to a cellular level. Joyce?
Yes, I've been doing organic castor oil policies on his chest, around the lower, right underneath his rib cage, and on his back. Make a wrap around, and I utilize those, and I use a cotton.
I would only do the lung area. Just keep it isolated to the lung area, nowhere else. Let's draw it up and out.
All right, and also I utilize the heat pack. Whereas it come to, like, I was wanting to discuss about the leaky gut issue, since, I find that I wanted to deal with directing in this healing process along with that as well.
Did you say the leaky gut problem?
Correct.
Well, leaky gut problem has got to be like daily cleansing tea and black gold, and you got to go heavy on the black gold, because
I have the black gold. I just talked to one of your assistants yesterday to make sure it was okay for me to continuously put it into his green drink. And you want to do a lot. Everybody, if you want to know this, black gold is a humic fulvic, and it's more granular than the black diamond. The black diamond goes in the blood and the brain. The black gold does the whole digestive tract, but it will remove every parasite. It will remove heavy metals. It will remove the acidity, and it will drop the nutrients. We can't. You are mute. No, I don't think I am mute. Somebody on Facebook said I'm mute. I don't believe I am. You're the first person that said I was mute. Anyways, so it will drop 70 micronutrients in there, but people don't understand this. It's not Shilajit, okay? It's not zeolite. All of these things are low vibrational compared to humic fulvic, and we don't use any chemicals on ours. And understand something, everyone. The only bacteria that's important is your mother's bacteria, and you'll always have that in you. And when you are utilizing black gold, you can restore mommy's good bacteria right back to having perfect immunity. I hope everybody knows this, and you're not going to like this, but 95% of the population has 85% bad bacteria and only 15% good. It's exactly the opposite. That's why people are rotting out. Okay, every disease is part of the body tissue rotting out, and wherever there is a disease in the body, you've got worms. And wherever you got worms, you got fungus and you got bad bacteria. They all come to the parasite party. Okay, so understand something. You got to hit with the black gold fairly heavy. And I'll tell you, has Reggie been doing this? And if he doesn't want to, I get it. I'm not going to push anyone. But has he started the Ultimate Coffee Enema yet? Yes, we have.
Is he doing it daily?
No, you told us to, the last time I had the consult, you said to do it, I think, like 3 times a week or something like that.
No, I said to do it for 10 to 20 days, and then we would discuss it. And once we're done, we wouldn't stop it. We wouldn't bring it back less than 3 times a week. And understand, everyone, this is not a coffee enema. This is the ultimate coffee enema, because we use black gold in there. Most people don't understand this. If you want to do a coffee enema today, everybody's got leaky gut because of antibiotics in all animal products that you eat and byproducts, and you've taken antibiotics. So you've got leaky gut, and what happens is when you take an antibiotic, or even other drugs, what it does, it turns the yeast that's in the colon into fungus, and they drill holes through you, and that's what we call leaky gut. That's autoimmune disease. That's where all autoimmune disease starts, right there. And people don't get this. If people don't bring everything back to the colon, we don't heal. So,
Okay,
so one sec, I want to make it really clear. So when you do the coffee enema, you want the ultimate coffee enema. So everybody go take a look. If you get my perfect day guide sent to you for Christmas, just go to pdgfree.com and you'll have it there 1 minute to midnight on Christmas Eve. And if you don't want to wait, go into the library, go to the fasting guide, the 6-day advanced water fasting guide, and you'll see how to do an ultimate coffee enema. Now understand, the reason why we use black gold is when we dump all those heavy duty parasites, chemicals, okay, and acidity from that liver, it dumps into the large intestine. The black gold, if you can use black gold, or you could use Tummy Love, or you can use black diamond. Go take a look. That will suck up all of that poison, because what do you want to do and unleash it from your liver and then have it go back into your bloodstream and now hit somewhere else where it shouldn't? And understand something. The whole game has changed. When Gerson invented the coffee enema, my God, come on, guys, that's like 80 years ago. And the reality is this, we didn't have all of these poisons in us. We have to suck those poisons up in the large intestine, lock them down right away. How do we do black gold? Everybody, what you need to do is you can go to docofdetox.com. If you go to my store, you can read about these products, but all you got to do is go into the advanced water fasting guide, okay? Until you get your perfect day guide. It has everything. How to do vaginal infusion, coffee enemas, therapeutic vomiting. I've got everything in here for you. And understand, everybody, even though you haven't gotten a consult, if you've got questions, feel free to give our company a call. I mean, we really are here to help and support you guys, okay? Now, go ahead, Joyce.
Okay, so where we are today is, all right, I just need to balance out because I will be, I was sort of like backing off being aggressive with the coffee enema because of the massive, like I consider it massive weight loss because he lost 35 pounds.
The ultimate coffee enema doesn't cause weight loss. It causes toxicity loss.
But being that, he's losing so much weight until we got back together of what the next level to go to. First, the concern was, of course, the overall diagnosis and the inflammation.
Okay, one second, Joyce. We got to be clear here. And this is really important, people. This is not your fault. But most people, they don't just know nothing about health. They know things that are incorrect. When a person has stage 4 inflammation and you actually go on a proper rejuvenation program, when you get rid of inflammation, you're getting a lot of water retention gone. You're not getting rid of muscle. A lot of people, once they lose the actual inflammation, which is the water retention and fat, they don't realize, but they didn't have muscle. There wasn't muscle there. They were just puffed up. Now, if we can get him just to do light exercise, even when he's sitting there watching TV, a can of soup in his hand. But what we'll do is I will come on today and I will show him exercises I would do if I was in his situation. Okay, love?
Okay.
We'll do that later. Okay?
All right, because his exercise routine, he used to walk 2 or 3 miles a day, but now he's walking like a block or two and coming back. He has light weights, which are 15 pounds each that he does sitting. So he's on it about making it better and doing what's needed to be better.
I understand.
However,
where do you live, Joyce? Where do you live?
I live between 2 states, Georgia and Florida.
Georgia and Florida. Yeah, I was going to say, because, man, if a person can get into the ocean and they can get into...
Oh, yeah, I'm on that, yes. I'm only maybe an hour and a half, no more than 2 from the ocean. If I was in Tampa, of course, I'm a beach bum, so I stayed on the ocean because I lived on Madeira Beach. But Jacksonville Beach, which is very beautiful, and Daytona Beach is only maybe an hour and a half drive.
Mm-hmm.
So that is no issue at all.
Okay.
So are you saying that the ocean water, like the salt water and the sand, will be good for Reggie?
Well, of course, because of it's because of all the minerals in the water, and it's the iodine, and it's also the iodine, and just sitting in the water. Even if he sat in the water in a calm bay, and he could, and the salt water is very healing.
Yes.
What was I going to ask you? There was something I was going to ask you. Oh yeah. So, are you getting any beans into his salad now? Are you doing any lentil soup?
Yes.
Lentil soup?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything we do. I do a navy bean chowder. I do lentil bean soup, which is one of my favorites anyway. I do split pea. I do kidney beans. Black beans, and I did like a 7-bean salad. I utilize all organic spinaches and greenery. He eats the salad like one day he eat green, and then the next day he'll eat cooked. So I'm doing everything.
Cooked what? Cooked what? Cooked what?
Beans.
Okay. Well, you know what? Make sure he eats often, but make sure he doesn't overeat. That's really important. And I'm going to tell you something. This is really important, and nobody does this. Make sure he doesn't chew any food until it is a liquid. Swallow. If he doesn't swallow anything and it's a complete liquid, completely broken down, he will heal 3 times faster. There can be no small particles or chunks going down, because when you don't have energy, you're not going to digest it. So it's got to be pre-digested, which means he doesn't have a second set of teeth. So make sure when he puts something in his mouth, he puts the spoon, he puts the fork on the table until he chews it and it's a liquid. And if he's drinking something, he swishes it around in his mouth just a little bit to mix it with the enzymes so he gets it all uptaked. Please. This is really important, okay?
Got it. And I also give him like seeds and like almonds.
No seeds, no almonds. You want to sprout things? Sprout them. Don't give him a bunch of almonds. Don't do that. They're like rocks.
Blended up in his, no blends up in his green drink.
I'll be honest with you. Don't ever give him more than 10 almonds in a day. If you do, and he better chew those things up that they are completely mush.
Blend them.
Okay, all right. Okay. But don't overdo the seeds. Don't overdo the almonds. And you better make sure. Just know that most of these almonds are no good. They're GMO'd. Okay? There's very few companies out there.
At least
Okay.
I buy the organic now. And I read the labels to make sure that there's no salt or no nothing. It just says,
Okay, love.
but anyway, so those are some of the things that we've been implementing.
And understand something. Sprouted, can I say this? Sprouted seeds are what he needs, not seeds. If you want to find out, you can eat. It's easily to do at home. You sprout the seeds. Now you've turned it into an amino acid product and not a protein product. And understand, concentrated proteins aren't the way to go. You want to bring the life force into these seeds or nuts by actually sprouting. If you sprout them, he will get 100 times more out of it. Okay?
Okay. Because that's one of the main concerns was to get protein and back into his body.
Well, I can tell you right now, and a lot of people don't understand this, but you want to put it in his green drink, or you want to put it in his blender drink. Give him 1 raw egg 3 times a day. You're going to really help him. 1 raw, organic, free-range egg, okay? That will really help his protein and his strength. Do you understand? Because you're not going to get enough. There's no way in the world you're going to get enough amino acids into somebody who has stage 3 or 4 inflammation. There's no way unless you use SON formula. So you're going to have to get the eggs in there and just keep the easier proteins, keep them coming. Okay, so, do like a raw egg, 3 times a day or even up to 4 times a day. Just spread it out. And he's going to say, you know what? I am feeling better. I need these. Okay?
All right. All right. So I'm going to order the Sun. I'm going to.
And understand, Joyce, it's affordability. You're not going to do like they do throughout Europe. Like I have quite a few patients right now that are doing 20 a day because they have to, until we bring down the stage 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Do you understand? Because the higher the inflammation, the more breakdown of muscle that's going to happen. And if there's no muscle, then it goes after your organs. So that's why you're right about the protein, but we've got to deliver easy. And it's better to not overload it. It's better to spread it out. But we can talk and, just keep calling me and you'll nail it. He'll just say, yeah, I'm feeling stronger. This is where I need to be. This is how much I need. Okay?
Yeah, well, I really need to be on point. Now it's going into 2 months. I need to be on point with this Sun, whatever this, what is it, amino acid, you say it is?
Well, let's just do this, okay? Let's start off slower because I don't want you to spend more than you need to. Get the Sun, and let's start off with just doing 3-4 times a day, and then let's see after 6 to 10 days, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Right, because we're ready. He's very disciplined, and he believes in healing, and he believes he's doing what he needs to heal. His mind is very balanced on it. So, he was just concerned. His concerns were the blood that he's coughing up, the muscle loss, number 3, and what can he do to get his energy level back up. So those are Reginald's concerns.
Well, we've went over things, and the reality is you have to up your game. Remember something. It's about bringing up the vibration, bringing up the frequency, because that's what it all is. Everybody wants one thing, and they don't even realize it's called energy. Without energy, nothing happens. So the reality is you got to just say, okay, what can we do to bring up the energy? Well, just make sure that he's chewing his food. Make sure you're not giving him things when he's exhausted and tired that that if it's going to take energy to digest, because he's not going to. Now, 1 second, if I can say this. Maritza, if a person has scar tissue in their lungs, they want to clap. They want to nebulize. We've already talked about that. And they want to get on what's called FiberClear. Okay, FiberClear is a systemic enzyme that goes in to help to remove scar tissue, trap protein particles. It'll attack fibroids and anything that's foreign in the body. And I'll have people doing anywhere from 5 times a day to actually, I had, one patient that was actually taking 100 capsules a day, but he was opening them up because he had such poor circulation. And read about systemic enzymes, and you'll just read about it. Mine are called FiberClear, but, do whatever you want, but that's something you need to look at. But if you've got scar tissue on the lungs, everybody needs to understand, you don't get scar tissue on the lungs unless you have infection that creates inflammation. Inflammation causes scar tissue formation. That's it. So you've got to go and find the source of the infection to make sure you're not still infecting, and that's going to reduce the inflammation, which reduces the scar tissue. And then what are you going to do to increase the circulation in that area to soften up that beef jerky, which is called scar tissue? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the scar tissue is, whether it's in an organ, whether it's in a joint, whether it's in your spine, okay, anywhere in the body. It's the same thing, guys. There is no different diseases. There are no diseases. There's infection, inflammation, scar tissue formation, calcification from pulling the calcium from your bones, and crystallization. That's all there is. There's nothing else. I don't care where you talk about, anywhere in the body. Anybody want to challenge me? Come right on here or call me at 469-861-8884. It's logic. Let's stay logical. And somebody wants to know about the nebulizing of the iodine. Guys, start off, get yourself a portable nebulizer for your car because you should be nebulizing while you're driving. You're not going to cough yourself into a frenzy. Just go slightly. You know what? If everybody nebulized, no COVID, no lung problems.
Amazon has a real good nebulizer like the ones you used to sell years ago.
Who does?
Dr. I said Amazon.
Yeah, they do.
I have the one. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And if I can say this, Amazon has a good nebulizer, the one we used to sell. And just so everybody knows, I'm under attack all the time. The last time I ordered 500 nebulizers, and the FDA threw them all in the garbage and said I couldn't use them. And that was just when COVID was starting. But Amazon can sell them, but I'm not allowed to. I get it. Okay. So understand this.
I was letting the audience know that they have one that is very frugal and it works great. I did order the portable one for the home for Reggie, of course, because it has more forcefulness by electric. But you have the kind that you can plug up in your car and all that good stuff.
Now, also, I'm only saying this for myself. Now, if I was in Reggie's place, I would also be doing 100 IUs of vitamin D a day. Okay? Most people...
You know what? I wanted to... Excuse me.
100,000 IUs a day.
What about B12?
B12 is good. It's going to help him with his energy levels, but it's short-lived. Okay? I'm not saying don't do it. Okay? I'm telling you that look up IGF 300,000 on my website and you'll find out where all the energy comes from and anybody that's vitally healthy. Okay?
All right. Well, we'll talk later because I want to get I'm not taking any notes today, but I would like to speak with you later on, if I may.
Yes, you
so
can.
So that I can get the itinerary revamped again because we're moving expedient, and I'm very excited. Reggie is excited to go to the next level.
All right. If I can answer this question for someone. So anyway, somebody wants to know about the cardio med bed. Well, we have cardio med beds. We've got 8 of them on their way to Australia to our clinics there. We've got 4 cardio med beds in Canada, and we've got about 8 cardio med beds in the States. Everybody needs to understand a cardio med bed. If everybody goes to BHN, because people are asking me about Cellsonic as well. Cellsonic will shut down inflammation, no matter even if it's stage 4 inflammation. It'll shut it down just like this. It doesn't mean it's going to stay shut down, but it will shut it down. It will decalcify the mitochondria, which will then start making the ATP that actually make the energy. But please go to BHNPowerpack.com. BHNPowerpack.com. You'll see about the cardio med bed and the Cellsonic. The Cellsonic has 250 volts. And it puts it into a love harmonic, and it'll actually shut down stage 4 inflammation, decalcify the mitochondria. It will, in most cases, get rid of pain, first treatment, just within a few seconds. Okay? You're talking about 25,000 volts in a love harmonic. Remember what I told you, everything's electricity, everything's frequency, everything's light, everybody, because we are light energy, electrical magnetic beings. Now, the cardio... What?
Dr. Wood, having that said, so you said it does shut it down. So what does it take to keep it down? Because how would that be affordable?
Well, okay, and I think that's a really intelligent question. Let me just put it this way. And then tell me if you understand this or if I'm not clear. First of all, do you understand that your thoughts create the programs that create your health, your wealth, or your sickness?
Yes.
Okay, then that's good. Now let's know this. When you create a program in your subconscious mind and it becomes a prominent, dominant belief, whether it's saving you or it's killing you, every cell in your body takes on the same program. Do you understand that? Because anything you repeat long enough and strong enough, That program is not just run by the subconscious. Every cell believes it's dying if you believe you're dying. Do you understand?
I believe that.
Okay, so now we've got to, hopefully the person reprograms himself quickly. And most people wait until they're down on their knees begging God, please, and there's a drama in their life. They do not change or spend money or time in loving and caring for themselves until they're in a bad situation. Yes or no?
Correct.
People are programmed to off themselves. So depending on how long and how strong the program is, it's a hate program. You don't even know it. I hate myself. I hate the way I look. Hate the way I feel. I hate my life. I hate the world. Okay, I hate broccoli. Whatever the case may be. And the reality is the deeper the program goes, the more you need to repeat a new program. You want to change your thoughts? You'll never change your personality. You don't change your personality, run the same program. I need you to understand, Joyce, why do you think people get cancer the second time, third time, fourth time, goodbye? Because there's running the old program. So I'm as scared as hell right now. I'm going to smarten the hell up. I'm going to smile. I'm going to take energy and I'm going to do everything. And I'm going to love myself. I'm going to care for myself. I'm going to get the whole family after it. We're going to do this. And then as soon as the pain goes away, I'm still living with the same family where I caught the same illness because of the way I ate, thought, and drank and lived. And then I go back to my old lifestyle, or I go back to not being the loving being, but now I go back and I bring the drama that happened years ago, okay, back into the present moment, and I re-trigger the disease, because all diseases are only based on and only created by the invisible, because the psychological rules the biological. So how are you going to talk? Joyce, how is Reggie going to talk? Are you going to walk around with a slight smile on your face and not be driving along and going, oh, and finger the guy who's driving beside you because he cut you off? Are you going to talk about the bad? No, I'm making this up. Talk about the bad doctors or the bad child that you raised, or are you going to complain about the government? Are you going to complain about the medical system? What are you going to do? Are you going to mind your own business? Are you not going to take things personal? Do you not need approval to love and care for yourself anymore? So I'm just trying to show you, when you say this, I can have somebody come and they can come through a protocol with me and do the Cellsonic, and we can reduce the size of a fibroid in 30 minutes, Joyce, with non-surgical. And the Cellsonic, we are going to reduce a fibroid tumor. Do you hear me? And we can reduce it up to 30% in that first treatment. It will stay down. But what about the person that leaves going, oh my God, it's going to come back, it's going to come back. Or they go home to a relationship that has never been good, but they're just trying to put up with it. They're trying to put up with a relationship because guess what? It's as good as it gets. Who would live with me? I could never make it on my own, okay?
So technically, what we're saying is that this treatment or this therapy with the dead is good for people that have a initial mindset to want to do better. No.
I didn't say that. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency.
That's what I mean.
No, what I'm saying is we've got people that are changing slowly, but if they use things that bring in a higher frequency, that bring in the light, that bring in the energy, that changes them right away. And if we can do it long enough and strong enough, we can get a personality change, can't we? If we can get the family to understand what we're doing and the family to go, yeah, I'm with you. Not, oh my God, you're spending money, or why would you go to this quack? You know, so the reality is everything is vibrational. You know what? Let me tell you something. Can I, 1 second, 1 second. Are you still there? Okay, let me ask you a question, Joyce. How hard is it to bring someone to joy and happiness that talks about being depressed?
Well, I don't entertain that type of...
No, it was a question, please, Joyce. I wasn't asking if you...
I'm telling you, I don't know. I really don't have an answer for that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, do you know why people are depressed? Because they run a depressed program. If you ask most people why they're depressed, they'll tell you, I don't know why I'm depressed. And do you know why? Because it's 3:15 and it's time to run the program. If you ask people, why are you happy? Well, because I practice happy. You have to practice happy. And people that are depressed practice depressed. People that are sick don't know it, but they have belief systems that they're running, so they practice sickness. Now, not everybody that eats a certain way gets a certain disease. People that eat a certain way and have a certain mindset get a certain disease. Okay, depending on what I eat, depending on what I think, depending who I hang around with, depending what I read, depending what I watch, okay, depending what my faith is based on, will depend on how quickly I heal or how quickly I'm out of here. That's it. So when we use the Cellsonic and the CardioMed bed, that helps people to stay here long enough to wake up to make the change. Or it will shut things down and they just go, oh my God, I can heal. Oh, I was been told so often that somebody in my condition would never feel any better. It's all, you're on your way out, buddy. And guess what? And they also feel like that because anybody who gets sick, nobody in the family knows what to do for them. Why do you think, and this is not a pitch, why do you think that we have right now collected, okay, last week it was 80, right now we are giving away over 100,000 perfect day guides to people's emails on Christmas Eve. 100,000. That is only going to grow, okay? I mean, I got to tell you, Joyce, it was only 6 days ago, and I woke up in the middle of the night around 2:30, and all I had in my head was, give it away. We have no time to waste. We must give it away.
That's a beautiful thing.
Huh?
I've already submitted for mine, so that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. So what do you think, Joyce?
Well, I'm probably dizzy. So much energy and so much knowledge. I'm just excited about the next level, and I can't wait until I consult with you offline to get the sun, that I need for Reggie, and just keep moving forward because, it's just a positive thing. I'm excited. I'm really excited and very honored to be a part of this transition for him as well as for myself.
Yes,
I have
love.
so many family members and so many on his behalf and my family that's looking upon like, wow, I wonder what's really going to happen with him. I know she's not going to let go but it's really not about me. I'm just a tool in the making.
Yes,
and
love.
It's really all about Reggie vibration and what he's wanting to get done and how much he loves life and wants to extend his life.
Bang.
Boom. So, here we go. So I really appreciate today, and I would say to the audience, thank you for listening. This is just part 2 of our testament, and hopefully as we come back, it'll be even more inviting. And the education for this alone is remarkably priceless, Dr. Wolf, and I thank you for always being on point, for answering my call. Thank you for your guidance. And moreover, thank you, I guess, for just being there. Reggie relates the same as well.
And listen, love, if you could do me a favor, though, you asked a question, and if you would go into my library at docofdetox.com and watch it's a really beautiful masterclass. Watch the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing, and you'll have your answer. Okay? You'll have your answer how thoughts create everything. Everything.
I'm on it. I believe that.
Okay?
I believe that with my life. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, is there anything else?
No, but I will call you in about 3 hours because once I finish here, I have to finish this. I'm writing an article on why natural parasite cleansers don't work. Well, they work, but only temporary, and they come right back. They come right back because the integrity of the tissue decides who's going to live there. And that's why people will do 3 and 4 parasite cleanses a year, and they still got them crawling out of their rear. There you go. Okay?
Wow. Well, I'm interested to see that, too, and hear that session. because that's interesting. It's probably
All right.
that's,
Joyce, you are a Braveheart goddess, and I mean that. And Reggie is such a lucky man. Okay?
thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Love you, girl.
Love you, greener.
Well, thanks for joining me, everyone. I know it's a really busy week for everybody. And just know this, I'm not perfect. I'm never going to get it perfect. But the reality is my heart's in it. We will do whatever we can. This is going to be a really big year. I really believe that we needed all this to happen. I just want you to give this a thought, okay? Was it really that good before COVID? The whole COVID thing? Was it really that good? Why did we have to have something come along like this to wake us up? Why did we have to have that? We lost love for ourselves so long ago. They have taught us that, it's all about the suffering. The more you suffer for your family, the more you suffer for the world. The world's not suffering, Oh my God, the planet's dying. No, it's not. People are. Let's make that perfectly clear. Do you ever notice how the planet's dying? No, it's not. Yeah, there are animals going extinct, but if they're going extinct, so are we. And extinct just means 30% of the population's leaving. And unless there's going to be a real wake up here, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. And this is not about me being nasty. And not because it's right, it's because it's an is. 30% of the population will be leaving the planet unless we make a shift. And that will happen by 2032. You think about that. That's not far away. And understand something, you're going to go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a fear monger. This is not about fear. I'm trying to dispense courage all over the world. Who else goes in? I mean, I could have kept the money. Who else would spend $180,000 on an app called Braveheart Nation app when 95% of it is free? Seriously. Because guess what? Life is the adventure. My God, if I didn't have this adventure, I'd go find another one. I'd go find something that is totally outrageous to do. The more crazier it is, the more outrageous it is. You know what? If you're not risking, okay, if you're not feeling like you're risking every day, listen, if it doesn't create a little anxiety, I don't know, then what the heck, eh? What the heck? I get really excited when you're calm and, you're thinking about your dreams, your passion, your gift that you want to give the world. Just think about when you're calm and you go, oh yeah, it does scare me a little, but it excites me a lot. That's right on the money. And when it's whispering to you and it's not screaming in your face, because that would be your subconscious, the reality is guess what? You know what? Every one of you have a very important part to play. I'm not making this up. People make up stuff, but no, it's true. You have a very important part to play. Who is going to become the Braveheart hero of your family and end the family curse of adulteration? End the family curse, okay, of judgment. Who's going to do that? Who's going to bring in the gift of unconditional love for themselves, their family, and everything else? I didn't tell you to have unconditional love for people that are abusing you, but go and focus and go somewhere else. I don't care who the person is that's abusing you, whether they're in your head or in your bed or in your home. You know what? Get away from them. Get away from them. Anybody that puts up with any abuse, right? Self-abuse first, and then abuse from any of their loved ones or friends or from the world, okay, guess what? You're a slave. And you do know that there's only like 1 out of 1,000 people that know that there's no authority over them, right? No authority. And that person also knows that there's no authority over anyone else, even their children. They give their children advice. They protect their children. But authoritarianism has to leave. And understand, there's no justice. Most families have no justice, just judgment. And that's because there's no justice out there. And out there, there's no systems that are broken. The government's doing exactly what it's always done. The government's broken. Who said that? What moron said the government's broken? Who said that the medical system's broken? Are you like out of your skull? It was created by Rockefeller. My God, go into my website, docofdetox.com. Go into my library, and why don't you go watch Medical Mafia, and also watch I'm Gonna Rock Your World. And you'll read a document that was written by Rockefeller that just said that, you know what? He's coming for you. He's going to poison you. He's going to tax you. He's going to do whatever he wants because guess what? He's the god of the planet. I'm not making this up. He doesn't scare me. I don't have anything to do with him. I don't buy his products. Okay? He doesn't threaten me. Okay? He's just a fearmonger. You know, I don't watch TV. I don't listen to the news. And I definitely don't listen to any of the BS that comes out of people's mouths. I mind my own business. And I'm allowed to do that. And, you know, most people, if they did mind their own business and totally put their energy back into themselves and their life, they can't do it because you feel guilty. I mean, that's even steeped in religion. Don't you be so selfish. And when somebody says that to you, they're going, live my life. No, I'll be living my life, thank you. I'll be living my life, thank you. I'm not living anybody else's life. I'm not joining any group. You know, Braveheart Nation is not a group that you can join. Braveheart Nation is about you finding your authentic self and getting your power back and then going out and sharing that with the world. That's what Braveheart is, where you can stand on your own and you don't take anything personal. You don't need any approval by anyone. You know, I gotta tell you something. I'm going to tell you a true story. So we were about to actually purchase a place here because this is where I live, in Zihuatanejo. So the guy goes and looks me up and goes, oh my God. The real estate go, no, he won't sell it to you. Why? Because of who you are. Really? So see, it doesn't matter. Just think, okay, if I got injured by that. You know, it's the craziest thing. You find your authentic self. You live your dream. You mind your own business. And guess what? Make sure that you do everything from that God spot in your heart. And never look back. And do not care what people say. Just go bless the world and have the best time of your life. And understand something, everyone. And I mean this with the deepest respect. I will never talk, drink, eat, or live like anything that the majority does. I will have nothing to do with the majority does. People say the majority rules. No, they're wrong. The majority's being ruled. I'm not being ruled by anybody. But guess what? If I was the majority, I would fit in and everybody would approve of me, wouldn't they? So, understand, let's keep the disapproval coming because I'm not going to take it personal. I love my life, and I will love every spirit being on this planet, no matter what their thoughts are or what they think of me, because I was there. And you know you were too. What religion did you hate? What nationality did you hate? What group did you hate? Well, I gave that up a long time ago, okay? You be you, and I'll be me, and I hope that that sets you free. God bless everyone. It's not letting me